Just play the damn thing.
About 2010, I think it was, 2011, something like that, Bogner came out with their preamp pedals designed to sound like their well-known high-end tube amplifiers. I was a manager at the GC store in Indianapolis at the time, and we had a buddy of mine that came in fairly frequently named Jeff, who is a monster guitar player. Indianapolis is a pretty big city. There's over 2 million people that live in this area, and I don't know that there's 5 people in this city better than Jeff. That's how good he is. And he came in and was, he was, just hanging out, demoing some stuff because he, like any of us, he loves gear and loves, loves guitars and loves to play guitar and loves to chase tone and all that stuff. And he's got a very picky tone. And he came in and he was checking out the Uberschall amp, the Uberschall head that we happen to have in the store at the same time. And was curious, about how the pedal sounded. So I went and grabbed the pedal out of the case and we actually ran it into the effects loop so that we could hear, basically the equivalent of the pedal version of the preamp versus the tube preamp that was part of the head. With Jeff playing, they sounded pretty close. I mean, really close, really. So ever since then, I've been really impressed with these pedals. I actually demoed the Ecstasy Blue pedal out of the same series on my channel 3 or 4 years ago, I guess it was, something like that. And that's one of the best distortion pedals that I've demoed on here. Maybe even one of the best ones I've ever heard. It's a phenomenal pedal. Yep. So I had some gift cards to burn and some money to burn, and one of these popped up on Guitar Center's website cheap, so I picked it up because I wanted to show it here to you guys. Plus, I've always wanted one of these things. So this pedal is not in production anymore. The big versions of these pedals are not in production anymore. Most of them, or all of them, I think, have been replaced with now a smaller, more pedal board real estate friendly version of these. I've not A/B'd them, so I can't tell you how close they are, but now, with the new ones currently out on the market, the values of these seem to be going down. One more note before we dive into this thing and see what it's all about. I'm conducting an experiment here on my channel. What I'm trying to determine is how valuable my audience finds the full track demo portion of these gear demos as part of the video. So in other words, do you enjoy, a quick minute and a half segment with a distortion or overdrive pedal or whatever it is being featured in a full mix with guitar and bass and drums and all that kind of stuff, or can you just skip it? You'd rather just see what the knobs do, see the range of the knobs, hear a couple of tones dialed in, that tells you what you need to know, and you move on and skip the full track demo altogether. So you, the audience, get to decide. And post your comments down below in the comments section. Let me know your thoughts on any of these, particularly my longer term viewers. There is also a poll that you can participate in on the community tab of my channel. So feel free to drop a vote in there as well. So all that nonsense out of the way, let's plug this thing in and see how it sounds. Sounds good. Definitely sounds, sounds real good in my opinion. Also, just so we can compare, and also so all that business I was talking about at the beginning of the video, where about running this thing into the effects loop of an amplifier. Let's see how this thing sounds running into the effects loop. Sounds good to me either way, really. No complaints. One, whether it's going into the front or the back, no complaints from me whatsoever. It's a great pedal. The only thing that does surprise me, and I'm not the only one that thinks this. I've heard this from a few people as well. It's not as gainy as I expected it to be. It doesn't have quite as much gain. And the Uberschall is a really high gain head. Bogner, of course, has been making that amp forever. Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains in particular is known for playing Uberschalls for a long time. You can hear Uberschalls among a lot of other amps, but Uberschalls are one of the amps that he's used across Alice in Chains' entire catalog. But yeah, beyond that, it's a great distortion pedal. The onboard boost, can be very useful. In that first demo, you also heard me run it as a clean boost into an overdriven channel, as well as a lead channel. You heard it pretty much every way I could think of to run it. And I don't have an Uberschall head on hand to be able to compare it with how it sounds with the head. But I'm sure there's probably some demos of that online, and I experienced that myself about 10 years ago, and it was pretty close. These pedals started out life at about $250 or $300. This is before all this inflation crap hit in the last couple of years. Now I'm finding these things on the used market pretty consistently for $100 or just a little more. Very consistently. As you can see, this one I paid $109 for. As you can see, it's in very good condition. So if you're looking for the Bogner sound, you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on an amp, maybe the Uberschall pedal is for you. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Adios.